After years of debate, the fight over LGBTQ plus books in Montgomery County Public Schools heads to the U.S. Supreme Court next week. WUSA 9 has been covering this lawsuit since the first parents protested in 2023. Our chief investigative reporter Eric Flack has been granted access to be inside the Supreme Court as all of this plays out. Flack, this could be a landmark decision.
It really could, and what the court rules on this critical case could have implications for parents' rights nationwide.
Teach what you want to teach.
Increase in mental illness, increase in addiction, increase in suicide for kids.
But do not assume that everyone's boundaries are the same.
Those are the results of exclusion.
It's a story that began on the steps of the Montgomery County Board of Education and will end inside the halls of the U.S. Supreme Court. Tuesday, 9 Supreme Court justices will have the power to reshape the conversation around inclusivity in public schools nationwide as they consider a case from right here in the DMV. Montgomery County Public Schools preparing to defend its rights to teach LGBTQ plus materials to elementary school students.
This is really an opportunity, if not a right, for our students in our public schools at the earliest ages to be exposed to the world.
The case centers on a 2023 lawsuit filed by a small group of parents who sued the school district for the right to opt their kids out of required elementary school curriculum that included LGBTQ plus inclusive books. The parents say the school district removed parental notice and opt-out options for storybooks that discuss gender transitioning, pride parades, and pronoun preferences for children as young as 3 years old.
This case is about very, very young children, and the parents that we represent have core duties in their faiths to shield their children. 2 lower courts have ruled against the parents, writing the mere exposure of children to LGBTQ-inclusive books did not violate the parents' religious freedom.
The fact that the Supreme Court agreed to hear the case suggests already that they're inclined to disagree with the lower courts.
But David Cole, a Georgetown law professor who teaches constitutional law and freedom of speech, said a reversal could be coming.
This is a court that has been very sensitive to religious freedom claims.
I'm very concerned.
Philip Alexander Downey, one of the co-chairs for the Coalition for Inclusive Schools and Communities in Montgomery County, said giving parents the right to remove their children from LGBTQ plus lessons would open a Pandora's box.
You think that if it starts here, where does it end?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, this case is about all diverse identities inside of schools. And if you can remove the teaching of LGBTQIA plus history, of identities, you can move those teachings of history and identities across the board.
Both sides have rallies planned outside the Supreme Court Tuesday morning, and Leslie, we will be there live.
Well, this could be really historic. As I'm listening to your Georgetown law expert, he seems to be suggesting that the Supreme Court may rule against Montgomery County schools. And so did he say what that impact could do to the county schools?
Well, he said there could be really chaos moving forward if these religious organizations have the right to kind of dictate what Montgomery County Public Schools, or really any school system, is going to teach in their school. Keep in mind that in the 60s, people claimed religious objections to things like integration in schools.
That's right.
And so this case likely it will be a precedent for school systems across the nation.
Well, if you control who writes the books,
That's
who
right.
dictates the information, you get to control who knows what, when, where, how, all those things. And we've seen the implications of that in what's happening with us now. All right. Thank you, Flack.
All right.